on live.
You're on live.
Yep, on live. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. As promised, we're back on the attack this Monday. I'm going to say this a couple of times. Happy birthday to my lovely wife. Not just the first lady, but my only lady, Lady D. Happy birthday, baby. Saying happy birthday to my wife, who's in the back. So everybody wish my wife happy birthday. So wish Lady Di happy birthday. Put it in the comments. Say happy birthday to her. Show your love for the woman who got me up and moving every morning. And started me on this mission. So everybody tell my wife happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lady Di. Happy birthday. All right. Yeah. So today I wanted to um, touch on things that are happening over this weekend. As you can see, based on what I posted, my message today is really um, stay where you are. Don't come to me. And I wanted to talk about this because, as you can see in the description, these are all shootings that we have this weekend. If you take a look at it, including the 16-year-old boy who was killed last night. All of these are shootings that we have in our community, and again, it's very it's a tiring act. It's an act that you have to be so persistent, and we can't get tired and we can't get weary. I watched a video this weekend that talked about the the 10 worst neighborhoods in New York City, and unfortunately, the people who were saying about how bad our neighborhoods um, are the same sort of people who really and truly would not fight for the resources and for the support of our communities. These are folks who would want you to fight for abortion, who are well, they are pro-life and not pro-choice. They would want you to don't uh, fight for the unborn child, but it's very difficult then that the same unborn child that you're fighting for um, in the community, when they grow up, is the same bad neighborhoods that they say that we live in. So how could you fight for the child that is not born? Okay, what's up, brother? And then when they get older and they start to live in these communities, you think that these communities are no good. So we're gonna look at that information next week. But I wanted to talk about our overall plan for the city or any city, especially New York City. And one of the things that we have to look at is that with all of the shootings that you see listed in our description, these are all within, from Friday. Yeah, what's up, brother? Friday to just about this morning. And these are different areas, and you can see by the description that the bullet has no one particular target. When the bullet leaves the barrel of the gun, it ricochets through the life of so many people. And it is evident over the weekend that we can see that this is a regular weekend. This is not about an uptick in violence. When we track our shootings from last year as well and the year before, we've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now. We have come on and we have said to you that we live in a violent society. This is not the first. We're not doing this because of the protest was happening or folks are talking about defund the police. This is happening. This has been happening all the time. When you think about it, if you have 365 days in a year and you have just about short of 900 398 people shot and killed, and you have 800 plus victims of shootings, you can do the math, do the calculation, and even if you want to divide it up into days, that's about what, 2-3 people being shot every single day. People forget that last year we had a full week for the first time in the history of New York City. We had a full week with not one person shot. You guys remember that? Or you don't remember it? Or you only remember what the news bring forth to you now? And we had 1 week for the first time, no one in New York City was shot. That made history. Yeah, morning, brothers. Yeah, and that made history. But now what we're seeing is that what we are pointing out to you is that this is a regular weekend in New York City. Now, some communities definitely don't have to really be concerned about the level of violence, but there are other communities, like our communities, we have to be concerned about the level of violence and the trauma in which it causes. So a bloody, deadly weekend. So what we are seeing here is that you can't pick one place in Brooklyn or in New York City to have just a march or a crisis response. These shootings are happening all over the city. And so what I want from members of faith and clergy is that don't come to me. Don't come to me. Stay where you are. If you are pastoring and you live and your church is in, or your house of worship is in the 101 precinct, don't leave the 101 precinct to come to the 6-7 precinct to join me in a march. Stay where you are. Don't come. Stay in your neighborhood. We got to lock this down because shootings are happening everywhere. We can't take our resources and concentrate them in one area. You got to stay where you are. I'm going to start off with a campaign that says, don't come to me, stay where you are. If you have a shooting in the 7-5 and you have a clergy council in the 7-5, I don't expect to see you in the 7-9. I expect to see you back in the 7-5. If you're in the 4-8 precinct, 4-9 precinct, any place that is listed this weekend that you have a shooting and you're in that precinct and you're a faith leader or you're a community leader or you're an activist, stay right where you are. Don't come to me. Stay in that particular area. It is so violent. And if you take all of our resources and if you bring them into one area, that is not the model to work this summer. So we're asking for, between the month of July and August, leading up to Labor Day weekend, we want clergy to, what the Bible called, pitching a tent. Pitch a tent in your community. We want mothers and fathers and young boys to organize your community, organize your block, stay in that area, build a tent, pitch a tent, don't leave, play street basketball, bring out the drinks, bring out the chairs, take over your block, so that you can be successful moving forward. So we're asking again, all of you, that based on what I just showed you and based on what you saw, shootings are everywhere in New York. We can't leave the Bronx and come to Brooklyn. I'm not going to Manhattan for anything. I'm not coming to the Bronx. I'm not coming to Queens. Our hands are filled. We're so busy right here where we are. So many blocks needs attention, different pockets and zones. So instead of us putting our energy trying to run around the city and run around to every particular march that we have. Now, some are good. I'm not saying about marching is not good. That's not my point today. My point is that if your focus is primarily within a particular area, stay in that area and build and get others who live in the area or who support your vision and mission to come to meet you. But we but we can't have this level of violence that is happening, and we have no response to it because we scattered all over the place in these different march, or we're leaving where we are to go to help our friend who is in another part of the city. No, don't come to me. Stay where you are. So all of the shootings that we have that you see that was listed, this is just the weekend shootings. Think about what that means for us for the rest of the year or the rest of the summer. It's a busy summer. So we want houses of worship, churches that are closed, get a tent, get down to your busiest corner. If you're in the middle of the block, you don't have take the Zoom Bible study and bring it out in the street. Do a street Bible study on the block. Put up a tent, get your speakers, and just open up the Bible and start to read and to study. That's what we need to do. We must be on the street. I'm calling for a full onslaught of on the street engagement for the full summer. We want all houses of worship, churches, faith leaders, singers, praise and worship leaders, men's ministry, women's ministry, the missionary department who can't travel right now. Look at it as like you want to go to Africa or Nicaragua or someplace for a dental treatment, and get yourself out there in the street and organize just like you were going on a missionary trip to one of those foreign countries. That's what we need to do now. You know, all of these other countries are locked in and closed down. We're supposed to have the highest level of engagement in evangelism in our own communities now. People are so caught up within themselves and the tradition of the religion that people who would normally be in the missionary department of those churches, what are they doing today? If you see all these killings happening, everyone is saying, oh my God, all of these shootings, all of these killings, what are we going to do? We gotta pick up and we gotta fight. We can't, it's tiring, but we gotta keep on doing it. We can't stop. You could never stop, and we should not stop. And we can't be defeated too as well. We gotta say that, listen, man, we're gonna do the best that we can do. So I'm encouraging all of you. One second. I'm encouraging all of you to find a way to get this done, to find a way to be in your community. So my message to you is this: that don't come to me. Noisy, man. Noisy. Yeah, don't come to me. Stay where you are. So we're asking all of the missionary groups and evangelists. If you're an evangelist and your church have an office and you have 4 and 5 evangelists, let them know that Pastor Gill is saying, use the same model that you would go out and save people. Use the same model in which we would go and raise money to go to another country and raise money to go right into your own local communities. I spoke to this mom last week. Her son was killed in Crown Heights. And, someone put her on to us. And I was speaking to the mom and the auntie. And I asked them, it's been like about a week since the son died. And, they were saying that they have no help. They didn't know what to do, where to turn. They don't know how to move forward. The police give them little or no information. They don't know. They don't have money for a lawyer. They had no idea of what to do. And so I started to talk to the family and just, guide them through a little bit of the process of what it looks like and what it takes, sometimes what happens when your son is shot and killed, because normally, again, like I've been saying to you, is that they criminalize us when we die. And it is amazing to see that our community, unfortunately, have to come up with a mechanism that literally helps families when the son or the daughter die. I'm not talking about crime victims that give you money to bury your loved one. I'm talking about support around a faith-based response, a faith-based support, someone who could guide them and lead them. And the other thing too, as well, is that the faith community must start to learn, especially if you live in communities where violence are high, especially gun violence. There is a special training just for the faith community that helps you deal with the family, knowing exactly what to tell them, knowing exactly what is the process moving forward, knowing exactly how to deal with the situation, how to look at what is happening, to make sure that the case is not being plundered underground. These are all things that needs to happen. So I believe that the amount of work that we have to do right in our very own local communities, we should be staying where we are, and I'm going to be pressing on that too as well. Stay where you are. Don't come to me. I want all of those precincts that has been listed. All of those precincts that have been listed in my description. These are all places of people who's been killed or shot or they didn't die, but there's a scar that has remained. Those individuals are going to be released from the hospital in a couple of days, and they're going to go back into the same community in which they came. So that means to say that there is a possibility of traumatizing those individuals. They're going to get re-traumatized every time that they hear a gunshot. Some people are going to go back seeking revenge, and then you're going to have another person killed because they were retaliating against the person who shot them, and the cycle continues over and over and over and over again, over and over again. That is why, my friends, that we are in this place that we are in right now. With all of the shootings, there must be a specific response for the victims and the survivors of these shootings. We have a lot of work with the preventative side, but it's both sides. It's both sides. And I saw a guide. I got to fix that, respond to that organization today. When I talk about victim services and people helping, I saw this guy that was like 2 pages long, coming out of Brooklyn. And unfortunately, it seems like people don't understand or remember what the work of the clergy council and people and the God Squad is doing. Like our our one of our main functions is really to support families of gun violence, the survivors and the children, and to be able to help them and triage their pain and the suffering, and put them into a place where spiritually that they're connected and that socially they know what to do. We help them to start nonprofit organizations in the legacy and the life of the children name. We don't just do one thing; we do a lot of different things. And as a matter of fact, we're going to start a campaign. This is another one. It's called 1 year later. 1 year later, if you could check on any of our cases that we have, anyone, I don't care which one you pick, and I can give you 35 right now, at least. And if you look at it for 1 year later, you're going to see that our record is second to none. We don't leave our families. They'll tell you that. We don't leave them behind. Second to none. 1 year later, and unfortunately, everyone, they don't have the apparatus to be able to keep families and love them and stay with them and support the families, support the children, making sure that the cycle of violence is broken. But we have done this consistently for the past 8 years, and we are going to see 1 year later. I'm going to start a campaign called 1 year later, and look at all of the people who are supporting individuals. I'm making a point here. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm making a point. Everything that I do, I want to really make these points. If you look at um, the the 1-year-old baby who died in the stroller in Brownsville. I remember we did a march, and I've lost contact with that family because I came in just to support the march, and the family in the bigger sense. That was not our case back then. But if you look at any case that we have, whether it's the youngest, one of the youngest cases that we have done was the 15-year-old Shamel Mercurius, who was killed in Flatbush Garden. She was 15. That we did the funeral and we helped raise the money and all of that stuff. That family right now, 1 year later, not 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, we're still connected. They're still within our support group. If you ask any mother who have been working with us 1 year later, do the record and check. We staying with them because this is what we do. This is what we do. This is who we are. We're not going anywhere in terms of leaving our families behind. 1 year later. So I don't want you to come to me. I want you to stay where you are. So all of the different precincts that you see listed, every if you clergy, if you live in that precinct, call up the precinct and ask them for the clergy person who works with the precinct, and then see how you can support those individuals by doing action items on the street. You got to do action items on the street. So work with them, call them, or call your church. If you are going to a church in that particular precinct, how do you know which precinct your church is in? How do you know what precinct you live in? Just put your address in and go to nypd.org and put in your address, and you're going to find out the precinct that you live in. And if you are in the 49, the 47, the 81, the 79, the 75, the 67, any of the precinct that was listed today and over this weekend that you had a shooting, I need you to organize within your community. Again, do not come to me, stay where you are. Do not come to me, stay where you are. We have enough people, 300,000 residents living in the 67 precinct. If you're in the 48 precinct, you probably have another 200,000 people living in your precinct. You don't need to take your bodies and come to me. I'm going to ask, again, all of the clergy groups that's doing work around gun violence, if you're listening, stay where you are. Lock down your particular area for the rest of the summer. Don't leave it. Don't leave it. Every night, planning a different event. Call up your clergy friends and get them out and see if you get them up and running. I know it's difficult. I know it's tough. I know that the challenge is great, but don't come to me. Stay right where you are. Don't leave where you are. Stay in the 7-5. Stay in the 7-3. We're gonna stay in the 6-7. Stay in the 6-9. Stay in the 4-8. Stay in the 4-9. Okay. Don't come to me. Don't come to me. And we are not going to be organizing any march that is going to pull you out from where you are. We're going to see in August. We want to plan 25 simultaneous marches across New York City in the places that are considered to be hotspots. Okay. So what I need for us to do is then, that's what we're going to do. We're going to organize. So what's going to happen is, since we're going to have 25 marches in our local community at the same time, the media, the most that they can do, I guess they would have to pick and choose, because we're not going to have all of the political leaders in one march, because you can't leave your area to go to another area to join their march. You're going to have to pick. Now, sometimes in your precinct, or where you are in your district, you might have 4 or 5 march, and you just have to pick one, unfortunately. But we don't have to have any politicians or elected officials at our march. It's not necessary. Everyone is welcome, yes, but the idea is that we can put on 25 marches across the city at the same time, but we are only marching specifically in the areas that are considered to be hot. Not all over the place. We're not going to some place that is ceremonial we're going to places that has either a memorial, a street memorial, have candles that is still lighting, that has people who have candles on the floor. You have balloons still up. These are the areas that we're going to march, and we're going to march that block up and down, up and down, back and forth from 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, up and down, up and down, up and down. And we're not leaving those areas. Now, if you have to go to a second, if you have to go to a second location, you march and you go through that second location and you come back again the same place. We're not going over the Brooklyn Bridge. We're not going over the Manhattan Bridge. We're not going to Trump Tower. We're not going to Borough Hall. We're going where we live. We are going and we're staying there. We're staying where the guys are shooting one another. We're staying where they have the beef. We are showing the community that, hey, don't stay inside. We went to Nostrand and Hawthorne the other day, and we were working with the 7-1. Supporting our local community in the 7-1, just outside of the border of the 6-7. And so these areas are crossover territory. They're a little bit outside of your precinct, but they're cross over, like you're crossing over. It spills over into your precinct. So you got to triage those things wherever it abuts to one another. And we were there for like 3 hours, walking up and down the block, up and down, up and down. And most of the guys who were gambling, they was like, okay, the God Squad is here. We were moving around, giving them PPEs, talking to one another, and it was okay. They get to kind of figure out, oh, okay, we got people, and homeowners were locked in their homes, beautiful homes, and they wouldn't come outside. This is Brooklyn, beautiful homes, and they wouldn't come outside. Beautiful homes, and they wouldn't come outside. A beautiful summer, and they wouldn't come outside. They're scared to death. Got like 10, 15 guys on the court, like in the middle of the block, shooting dice, drinking, and basically just taking over. So we came and we took over the block. 20 of us. We took over the block, knocking on doors, speaking to people, walking up and down. People are saying, this don't make any sense. You guys not stopping any shootings? Yeah, we are. Because if guys are trying to scope out, they say like, nah, this block has too much attention. We're moving someplace else. We're not going to be selling here today. We're moving someplace else. But we also given the community a little bit of support to let them know, you guys can organize. You can organize. We will be there with you. But you got to organize, because we can't come back to your block every week. But if every block start to organize, I'm talking about the block. I'm not talking about the rich, affluent blocks that everyone, has an American flag on it. I'm talking about the hood blocks. I'm talking about deep into the places where you're looking on this chat and you can see where. Gotta mute my mic for a minute. Okay, the train. And you can see where you have all of these shootings. Look in the description. These are the places that we gotta organize. These are the streets where you could see like a lot of people are hanging out. This is where you put your tent. So you can't leave your precinct that is on fire to come to my precinct for a ceremonial activity. Can't do that. Not this summer. Next summer maybe, but not this summer. Maybe during the winter time, maybe during spring or something, but not right now. So I'm asking everybody, please, please, I'm begging you, don't come to me. Please stay where you are. Please. I know that we like, I don't know what type of marches are planned for the rest of the month. I'm talking specifically to clergy now, and faith leaders. But if you're planning a march, it must be in your neighborhood. and it must be marching through the communities in which it's most affected. We cannot take our resources. I cannot leave the 6-7 or the surrounding precincts to go to Harlem for a march. I can't do that. Can't. I got to put all of my energy. Hold on, hold again. Wow, it's noisy. I can't take my energy um, uh, and leave to go to the Bronx. We love you in the Bronx. We support you in the Bronx, but I want to help you in the Bronx to organize. I want to stay in the Bronx and organize. So if you don't see me this summer and you only see me within my local communities, that's right here in this area, my apologies to you, but I am not going to leave where I am. I'm staying where I am. Unfortunately, I have to stay, and we have to organize, and we have to mobilize where we are. I can't come to you. My apologies to you in advance. I know that Pastor Terry Lee is going to have a unity walk. He's been doing this for 25 years. We're supporting him. I see that Bevo had a great march, which we support them. Yes, that's good. But I want to say to all of us, I will not be moving and running outside of my community at every event, whether it's a community celebration this year, this summer. I can't do it. Not this summer. Every available opportunity that I have, we have to find ourselves in the street, giving out masks, giving out food, distributing PPEs, distributing hygiene products, and but we can't. But we cannot come to you. We cannot come to you. We will not come to you. The God Squad will not be coming. We are staying in the 6-7. We are staying close by in the 7-3. We're staying close by in the 6-9, the 7-1, and the 7-0. That's where it is. We will not be able to come any further than that. Sorry, we're not doing it. Not this summer. And I'm going to ask all of you respectfully to stay where you are. Find your precinct. Find where your church, where you live, or where your church resides, where you do your ministry, and pitch a tent in the Old Testament fashion. Pitch a tent and don't leave. Build an altar on your corner that every day you want to come out and you want to say, listen, we're here in love, we're here in peace, and we're going to march up and down this block. We're going to sit here, we're going to turn our lights on, and we're going to be right in our communities. This is it, friends. Shootings through the roof. But it's just a regular weekend in New York City. Nothing fancy. And I'm not coming on having a conversation about police and who ended this and ended that. Nah, I'm saying, man, yes, we have to deal with those issues, but we have to put everything in perspective. And the perspective that I'm bringing this in is that as faith leaders, with 3,000 churches in Brooklyn, another 2,000 in the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Harlem, some of the strongest churches, if we are only relegated to having meetings with the NYPD, you have clergy meetings, and there's only talk with no action, and there's only in when you were clergy, how are you? When you were clergy, and you go to any meeting, I don't care what type of meeting it is, you have to come up with a solution that is beyond just police. And we cannot go to a meeting and we need to stop asking the question, what could I do? You're supposed to know what we could do. If we are called to mission, I can't go to a meeting that talks about shootings and ask the police department, what could I do? That makes any sense to me? No. I'm not coming and asking what could I do. I'm coming in the meeting saying, here's what we are willing to do. You know? Not what good morning there. I'm good. I'm not talking about what could I do. Police shootings going up over the city, and I have to wait for a meeting to be called by the police department for me to ask them what could I do. No, I'm calling the police department. I'm calling them and saying, here's what we want to be done. I'm calling my local precinct and saying, here's what we are doing. What could you do to support this work? Not going to a meeting, what could we do? Talking about parking tickets. No, 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 no. Or talking about police is not responding. We have enough people on that bandwagon. What we need is people on the ground. What we need is clergy to be real about what we're seeing and help. Everyone will do what they have to do. I can't do what Ethan Charles and the Cure Violence Group they're doing. I can't do that. That's not our role. But we know for sure that Pastor Straker, Pastor Dave Allen, those who on the live feed, we're doing what we can do. You know, I can't do what DJ Eric is going to be doing when he's playing his music, you know, going to the crowd talking about, listen, guys, you got to put down the gun, you got to live in peace. I can't do that because I'm not a DJ and I don't have any following in parties. But what we can do, we want to do it and we want to do it well. So we're asking everyone to just do your job and do it well. So don't come to me. Don't come to me. Let me see. Yeah, don't come to me. Stay where you are. That's our message. Don't come to me. Stay where you are. Today we ran. It was a tough run today. Again, today is my wife's birthday, and so the love of my life. So I want to say happy birthday to Lady Di for motivating me and pushing me to become what I am today. Thank you so much, baby. We appreciate you, appreciate your love, and so happy birthday to you. So yeah. So don't come to me, brothers and sisters. Stay where you are. Do what you gotta do. Everyone do their part. Everyone stay in the lane. We'll reach our destination safely. You're so right. Everyone needs to stay in their lane, man. We just have to do what we gotta do. All right. So you still have an opportunity to share this video. You still have an opportunity to like this video. You still have an opportunity to share and like and comment on this video. Even after we're done, these videos are circulated. There's probably going to be too many videos that people will know which one to watch. I probably have to stop making all these videos. But we are going to try our best. All right, justice for Aaron. Justice for Aaron. Aaron Ashby, 14-year-old killed in St. Thomas. Justice for you, but justice for him and his family. The 1-year-old baby Gardner Applesauce is going to be buried today, right here in good old Brooklyn. Definitely, we are praying for the family. You know, yesterday I was called out to come to the viewing of the 1-year-old baby, and I told them that, you know, I was conflicted because I was saying that the family, I don't know if they wanted all of these strangers and just people, you know, in this space. So I decided not to go. Today's going to be the funeral, and I will not be attending the funeral. Um, I just, you know, we want to pray with the family. We're supporting the family in a different way. You know, our model is 1 year later. When everyone else leaves, unfortunately, our apparatus and the work that we do is that this is where we make our money, quote unquote, not real money, but this is what we do. We stay with families. When everyone else is gone, this is what we do. And we're not boasting about anything. No, this is just what we do. And everyone has the right. And I'm so happy for the people who surround their family right now, supporting them. I know that the NBA Knicks star, I think it's Taj Gibson, I think his name is. I'm bad with Knicks players or any other player, as a matter of fact, who's paying for the funeral. Thank you so much. There's other things that we're doing in the background that you should not say in public. So all of those who have been doing their work in the background, you know, we thank you for that too as well. So that's what it is. You know, just sorry that, again, so far I won't be going to the funeral services. They have my love. They have my support. But I think that, again, we need to have our particular assignments and follow those assignments well. All right. We want to thank all of you for sharing this video, for liking this video. We want to start something that is viral. We are happy today that we're bringing on 30 young people. We're hiring 30 young people for the summer. in our summer program. And so we really want to thank God that we had said that we want to hire 900 young people across New York City for 90 days. We are asking, one second. We are supporting now close to so we have 30 young people joining our summer youth program. We're very grateful to God that we are in the position to do so. So thank you to New York City and the mayor and whoever, city council, whoever made this possible, whatever money was restored. We thank you so much. Thanking our local elected official in city council, Farah Lewis, Matthew Jean, who really pushed and told me that they were pushing to restore those funding. Thank you again. But this is what we can do. So we're doing 30 young people. We're bringing on, that's 30. We have 40. So we're close to 50 young people, 50 people that we are hiring this summer, or they're being stipend. So that's 50 young people, just just with us alone. And so we're just doing our part. All right. So that's why I'm saying that we're not coming. We got to manage all of these different pieces. So we don't have the time to come out to you. Don't come to me. Stay where you are. Build, get young people and put them to work. I can't wait to have a great announcement on this mentorship program that we're going to be having soon. Stay tuned to that. We're going to get deep into this, and we're getting really deep into helping individuals. But we're only one, and so I want you, wherever you are, again, this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday, we have two meetings that I want to invite you to. Number one is Tuesday, that's tomorrow, 11 o'clock at the office of the Brooklyn Borough President. Clergy, we want to talk about reopening the U.S. Census. We just want to talk about phase 4. So tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, from 11 to 12:30, at Borough Hall, virtually, that is. Join us for that meeting. And then 2 p.m., we're going to be having our clergy meeting, one of the most important clergy meetings that we have held this summer. Not, I think, is on Tuesday, tomorrow at 2 p.m. So if you're a member of the clergy, if you know a clergy member living anywhere in New York City, please have them come on tomorrow. Follow me on my Facebook page or on our social media page. You're going to see the information for the meeting tomorrow. So there's two meetings tomorrow. One at 11 o'clock from the Borough President's office, from my Office of Faith-Based and Clergy Initiative. And the second meeting is going to be at 2 p.m. This one is going to be hands-on approach. How are we going to help clergy organize in their local communities? If there's any meeting that you're going to attend tomorrow, it needs to be those two meetings. And so mark your calendar. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 11 o'clock, and then 2 p.m. We'll have two meetings. All right, so God bless everyone. And I'm going to see you tomorrow morning in the will of the Lord. And then I'm going to see you 11 a.m. on the Zoom meeting in the morning at the office of the Brooklyn Borough President. And then 2 p.m., the God Squad will be meeting with every clergy member who is available in this city. If you look at the list and you see that your precinct is in that. Now, this is not who got shot during the week. This is only who got shot during the weekend. And primarily, if you're a clergy or you know of a clergy member whose church or who lives or who frequents those areas, they should be on this call tomorrow at 2 p.m. So we have two options going on. You have a 11 p.m., 11 a.m. meeting, and then you also have a 2 p.m. meeting. We will show you very quickly how to organize and how to mobilize in your local community and what exactly to do. Because we do understand that the difficulty is sometimes that faith leaders don't know what to do. They don't know where to begin. They don't know how to engage. But we understand that. That is why tomorrow we're taking our time to break it down piece by piece in bite size so that we can have a good understanding moving forward. So text someone, please help me. If you're on here, you're a pastor, I can't, the people that you can reach, I cannot reach. I can reach you, but then you can reach others, ministers, evangelists, anyone in your church or people that you know. 2 p.m. tomorrow, they need to be on this training. We're going to show them just basically how to move this summer and our plans of action moving forward. All right? It's not just only talk. This is about action. It is about praying with our feet. It's about standing tall in our community. When people are saying that our community are bad, we are pushing back that narrative. We have no bad communities. All we have, according to Dr. Charles Galbraith, is that we have holy ground. And because our church is in that particular area and we are walking and treading on that ground, those ground are holy. That is biblical. That is power. God has given us dominion and power over these things. And so we have to, again, pull down these wicked imaginations that is exalting itself against the name of Christ. And the way that we do it is by faith, is by praying, is by moving, is by action. Action on the ground. So God bless everybody. Take good care. And we'll see you again soon. All right? Take good care, everybody.